Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be telling you about my fashion brand, Femme Fatale, a business that I thought of one night at 2 a.m. when I felt that the country and my spirits had reached an all-time low. I've always been a feminist. My parents have videos of me before I could walk on their shoulders at women's marches in the city. But I've grown up in a place where I've always felt rather equal to my male counterparts in experience. So at the end of 2019, when I heard that a woman's right, my right, to an abortion was being challenged by old, rich, white men, I freaked out. I couldn't sleep that night. My mind was everywhere on what my future would be like, what the future of my female friends would be like, the future of my future daughter. And I wasn't alone. I saw all of my peers taking to social media, espousing their beliefs on a woman's right to choice, a woman's right to her life. Suddenly, it occurred to me. My generation is becoming more and more politically and socially active than ever before. Young minds are running the agendas of today. Just look at Greta Thunberg. I see it all over Instagram every day. And yet, I don't see it in the halls of school, or at the mall, or in the park. Weirdly, we seem fine writing our political beliefs online, but when it comes to displaying them in person, on our bodies, in the fabrics we wear, we teens shy away. I don't see anyone my age wearing a Proud Feminist t-shirt or Ruth Bader Ginsburg strong leggings. That night, with my mind fresh off anger at the government and pride in my beliefs, I decided to start a business. First, I needed to understand why teens weren't wearing these clothes. I already knew the answer to this from personal experience and the experience of my own friends. In today's world, it can be hard for teens to feel able to express their opinions through what they wear. They can feel judged by their peers depending on if they are on trend or not, and feminist apparel has continuously shown to be off trend in the past. On this path, I identified other problems that needed to be addressed through my brand. I researched the environmental and social costs that come with relying on the fast fashion industry for clothing. I found out that the fashion industry is the second largest industrial polluter and accounts for almost 10% of global pollution. Over 92 million tons of waste are produced every year, along with 1.5 trillion liters of water, enough to fill up 10 billion bathtubs. As for social impacts, according to Global Labor Justice, women from Dhaka, Bangladesh, Indonesia, India, Sri Lanka, and more are routinely subject to a wide range of violence and unlivable wages, particularly because they are viewed as less able to resist than men. Because of this, I decided that not only would my business revolutionize social activism's relationship with fashion, but also be sustainable and morally sound by not supporting the fast fashion industry. To achieve these goals, I utilize upcycled clothing from thrift stores to make trendy, reworked apparel with feminist slogans. In this way, my brand further starts the conversation between teens on what it truly means to be an empowered feminist. At this point, I realized making clothing wasn't enough. It was one thing to make this apparel for feminist teens, but it was another to provide girls with the education necessary to be properly informed on the inequality they face so they can be mentally armed against it. Think about the whole give a man to fish, teach a man to fish, but 2020 hashtag Me Too movement style. To tackle this aspect of my business, each week I research a feminist, historical or recent, that people should know about and write about 2 paragraphs about their life, work, and why it matters. I then post this to my website's blog, labeled Empowerment, as shown on the slide, and to my business's Instagram and Facebook, and I send it out in my weekly newsletter. By now, I'm sure you've already guessed what my target market is. Since the idea arose from me observing my peers, I aim to sell my products to teens like me. Additionally, research has shown that this generation is the most likely to want to buy my products in the first place. According to Digital Commerce 360, the buying power of Gen Z has already exceeded $500 billion. And according to Business Insider, this same generation will account for 40% of global consumers in the year 2020. However, this isn't all that attracts teens to my brand. The clothing brand Everlane, founded in 2010, has found that complete brand transparency, they provide the public with information about factories' costs and raw materials, has Gen Z emptying their pockets. Similarly, 9 out of 10 Gen Z consumers believe companies have a responsibility to address environmental and social issues. This will drive Gen Z customers directly to my business as my main goals surround sustainability and social activism. This is not to say that I don't have competition from pre-existing brands in the market. A brand called LF uses the same vintage and reworked aspects in their designs as I do, and have the same target market, teenagers. However, their products range from $136 to over $200, whereas my price points remain in the $15 to $80 range. On top of this, their business follows a fast fashion model that Gen Z is increasingly avoiding, as shown earlier. Additionally, a brand called American Eagle also markets to teens and is best known for being inexpensive while staying trendy. Another important fact is that they have over 1,000 physical locations worldwide. However, their apparel is not known for social messaging or being reworked, and they, like LF, follow a fast fashion track. Brands such as Seiko, Mata Traders, and Maya Miko most stress the feminism/empowering women aspect and are sustainable, but don't market to teenagers or have physical storefronts. Additionally, most of their products are too expensive for my target market to afford, similar to LF. While each of these competitive brands has certain similarities to Femme Fatale, none unite all of the same aspects present in my business. One of the best ways to know whether a product is sellable is to look at the customers themselves and their feedback. Shown on the slide are two customers along with photos of them in the clothes and what they had to say about Femme Fatale. At the top, Danielle Goldstein, a teen in my target market, wearing a wild feminist destroyed pink tank. And below is 12-year-old Ruthie Tornberg wearing a girl boss tank. This slide shows the process that I currently go through to make and sell my product. It begins at the thrift store where I pick out shirts and other apparel I believe will provide good starting canvases to work with. This typically costs anywhere from $1 to $10 depending on the price of the shirt and what additions I add. From there, I go to the digital design fabrication studio at my school to cut and press vinyl slogans and rework the item. While this has no monetary cost, it takes approximately an hour per piece as each is unique, and I count this as a labor cost when pricing my product. Next, I take photos of the piece so that I can post it to my Instagram, Facebook, and website to alert followers of a new product up for sale. Products cost anywhere from $15 to $40 without markups. Finally, I take the product into a retail location, currently at a shop I partner with called Toile in Fishtown. Here, since places like Toile take a 50-50 retail cut, I up the prices by about 50% to still make a profit but maintain affordability. I am currently working on ways of also shipping products directly to consumers, though with the pandemic going on, my efforts at this have halted as my products are still at Toile and not available to ship or sell. Now, I haven't done this all by myself. I have a few key partners without whom I wouldn't be close to where I am today as a business. First, partners through my school, which includes advisors like Mr. Glassman and Miss Fajardo, who aid me in both the fabrication and business aspects of my brand. I also have an extremely helpful connection in the business world, who is Miss Belts, the founder and co-owner of Serendipity, a shop I sold at in the past. While I no longer sell my clothing there, as I found it to not cover my target market, SheFet was the first business to stock my clothing and gave me important tips for improvement. In addition to Miss Belts, I recently made a connection with shop owner and custom designer Bianca De Pietro. I actually cold called her and her store as a potential retail location back in February and began selling there within the week. Her store, Toile, as mentioned earlier, only sells handmade pieces designed by women, fitting right in with my brand's values. Since that first meeting, Bianca has shared with me helpful information on what sells and what doesn't in her store, giving insight into how I should style my pieces. On top of that, she gave me some of her own custom pieces to collaborate with. I look forward to working more with her in the future. Today I'm asking you to help me make more valuable connections like the ones on the last slide. Many of you watching are acclaimed members of the fashion world and could help me bring Femme Fatale to the next level. All of you have valuable business tips that could help me improve on how I currently run my business. I would love to work with you in the future, as there's always something new I could learn about being an entrepreneur in this world. My contact information is as follows on the slide. Feel free to contact me by email at any time and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I look forward to hearing from you, and make sure to check out my website.